Good morning, everybody. It is Jen here. I finally got my chapstick back, so I am super happy. I am standing in the parking lot of US 192, which is kind of like the main road through Kissimmee where Old Town is. Takes you right to Disney. Actually, right next to the airport, if you can see the plane, where to go, I don't know. There's a plane landing right there. But I'm about couple minutes past Old Town, and I am out front of the Osceola County Welcome Center and History Museum. So I've never been here, and I mean, I've lived here for years, so I am totally going in to check it out. Let's go. So this is a really awesome little museum. It's actually nice and quiet. You kind of walk in, you come through, go to the left, and it's basically a chronological journey of the development of this area, which is really cool. And the check-in area is a paddle boat. We'll talk about that a little more later, but paddle boats were very big. I want to say in the 1700s, but I could be wrong. So they also have a really fun scavenger hunt to kind of help guide you around. There's two sides. There's this side, which is a little bit more challenging, and then there's an easier side on the back for younger kids that kind of like gives you clues and the answers, but I'm gonna do the harder one. So this is basically what this area looked like back before it was inhabited by people in Disney and all the stuff. There are a lot of areas here in Osceola County in Central Florida that still do look like this, but Osceola County is much more developed than it was back in the 1800s. They also have some fun interactive stuff for the kids. Like they have this where you can move it back and forth. You need two people though, as if you were cutting the trees like the old timbermen. And then they also have this really cool tunnel. I am not going to go through that because it's a little tight for me, but inside is little cubby holes where it shows the underground dwelling animals. Then they have a whole section on the cattle culture because ranching is huge, especially here in the Central Florida area. Well, that's interesting to note. Where I used to live in St. Cloud, my section of town, it looks like it used to be a sugar plantation, which is pretty wild. These are really cool. They have these called cargo questions. So it's what is 20 feet tall and native to Asia? I didn't know, so I peeked, and apparently sugarcane can get up to 20 feet tall. That's crazy. So here in the back, this room is kind of like it rotates throughout the year. I think they said every like 6 months they change it out. And right now they're doing an homage to baseball because spring training used to be huge in this area. It's kind of moved on from Central Florida, but they still have a little homage to all the like baseball stuff from the past. So this is really interesting. This part I actually knew, that in early 1900s that the Union Army bought 105-acre lots for $50 each, which basically created the St. Cloud we know today, which was the beginnings of the St. Cloud I know today. St. Cloud was incorporated in, I believe it was 1911 or 1912. So it took about 2 to 3 years before they became the city of St. Cloud. But it's really, really neat to see the history of where I live. So this is really cool. This is how they used to make their own turkey calls here. So you basically take a shell, which you can find on any of the beaches here. You take a small stick and you rub the tip. Oh, it's not working. I don't think that sounds like a turkey to me, but well, apparently in July of 1917, a whole section of St. Cloud burnt to the ground. I'll actually have to take you. I know exactly where this is on Pennsylvania Avenue between 10th and 11th Street. It's only a few blocks from where I live now. And he said it caused about $100,000 worth of damage when a lot to land was only $100. So that's like ridiculous amount of money. It's amazing they recovered from that. And it may seem odd that there's just a random door here, but this is a door to Mackinson's Hardware. Mackinson's Hardware has been in Kissimmee and owned by the same family since the 1800s. It is, I believe, the oldest existing family-owned like hardware store, like still in existence. And I mean, it's still owned by the same family since the day it opened. That's amazing. Look, I live almost exactly where that dot is in St. Cloud. That's pretty wild. So they also have a really cool small little aquarium here that was donated by Gatorland, where they keep some baby gators. 1, 2, 3, they keep 5 baby gators in here. Once these get too big for the tank, they will remove them and bring in new ones. And it's pretty awesome. So you don't necessarily have to go into Gatorland to see the Florida wildlife. And these are like the same type of gators you'll see in the wild here in Florida as well. And there are a couple different exhibits that talk about the different environments and biomes you'll see here. Because there was like the scrubland, the swamp, and now we're talking about the marshes. And there are a lot of these, especially in this area, because we have several big lakes right around here. You gotta love the attention to detail when they even add the bird poo to the decking. That's awesome. One thing you will commonly see flying around here in St. Cloud in the Kissimmee, Osceola County area are bald eagles. There are quite a few nesting pairs of bald eagles here in this area, and they even have one that your kids can climb into so they can see a bird's eye view of an eagle's nest. And then they also have just a tiny little gift shop where they sell like just some little things. Some local arts and crafts, some fun little local themed candies. And that'll about do it. I mean, it's not a huge museum. Now, if you look online, it does say that they charge entry. However, I was not charged to enter. So I don't know if what's online is accurate or not, but I will post details in the comments below. Now, there's another place called the Pioneer Village that in the not summer months, June, July, August, they do a Living History Day. It looks like Living History will be moving here for the summer months, so I will be coming back here in June to check out the Living History, where they will have actual volunteers in period garb talking about what life was like back then. So I'm really excited to do that. And then I'm gonna have to take a day and head over to Pioneer Village just to check it out. And I have to say, the ladies that volunteer in there are so sweet, and they're very knowledgeable about this area and the history of Osceola County. So feel free to ask questions when you're in there, because those ladies know their stuff. But a lot of the, I don't know what they were called, a lot of the sections and segments talked about Shingle Creek, which is actually directly across the street behind us, and I still have about another hour and a half before I got to pick up my next stroller. So let's head over and check out the Shingle Creek recreation area. So this is my first time here. I don't really know much about this. I know they do have a place where you can rent kayaks, and it does look like there's a hiking trail, so I'm gonna head over there to check it out. So this is kind of cool. This was the Steffee family homestead that was built in 1911. Looks like it's not open to the public because it's all closed off, and you can see it's pretty overgrown right now. But this is kind of like one of the houses, the original houses from 1911 that folks lived in here. Aha, so this is what I was trying to find, some information on the Steffee place. The Steffee family moved here from Kentucky because Mrs. Steffee was very unhealthy and needed a warmer climate to live in. So they they planted citrus and raised cattle and horses. Very cool. There's a couple of woodpeckers right there. That is so cool. Oh my God, I love nature. So here's where we just were, the Osceola County Welcome Center and History Museum. I literally came right here. So you pull out here and then you turn in right here. So it's literally across the street. But there's one other museum that we'll be visiting probably next week, which is up here, which is called Pioneer Village. And so that's where they relocated all these historic buildings from all over Osceola County and reconstructed them and moved them there to preserve them and teach a little bit about the culture. So we'll definitely be coming back there another day. So the other thing I don't see is how long this trail is, but this is the trail we're gonna do And it looks like there's a historic cabin house in the back. So let's go check it out. And here's a little setup of their homemade mill, basically, because they had to farm their own lumber back out here. I mean, back out in the early 1900s, there was nothing. So if you needed to build a house, you needed to fell and mill your own wood. So this is a kind of setup that they would use to make their lumber. Oh, this is a cool little boardwalk. I didn't know any of this stuff was out here. So you can just off in the distance see Route 192. Which is the main road, and this is Shingle Creek, and this is actually a kayaking creek, and I'll show you, they even have a place you can rent kayaks up ahead. Oh, so that was actually really short. It was only like 1/10 of a mile, and here is the cabin. Now you cannot go up or into it, you can just view it from afar, but it's really cool. I mean, look at how they made it. I mean, it's just amazing. And this was built back in 1880. Oh my gosh, this thing is so old. I see what I did. I went this way instead of going this way. So we need to go back and do a little more walking. So what I need to do is go that way. And that's the long trail. Now this is awesome. This is Florida's nature at its finest. And one thing you do want to pay attention is you do want to pay attention for snakes while you're out here, because there are rattlers out here. They generally will stay away from you, but if you hear the rattle, give it a wide berth. Aha, I found the other cabin hidden here. This is the caretaker house, and these are the people that helped take care of the homestead. Some of the help, as you would, whereas the family got the nicer house, they kind of got a shack out in the woods. I don't know how good I feel about this. There are a lot of branches off of these trails, and none of them have markers. That gets pretty primitive back there. This one still looks like a pretty well-developed trail. I think we're gonna head this way, but I don't want to get lost out here. And you also want to be aware of the plants, because that is, I'm not sure if that doesn't look like actual poison ivy, but that is one of the poisonous plants that will give you a lovely itchy rash. Ooh, I found another boardwalk. I love me some boardwalks. So one other thing to pay attention to if you're going to be out here hiking and exploring anywhere in Florida is dress appropriately and make sure you have water, because you don't always realize exactly how much you're sweating and how hot your body's getting. When you're out hiking these trails, it can be a little deceptive because it is cooler under the shade of the trees than it is out in the hot sun. You want to make sure you stay hydrated. One cool thing we have here in Florida is 3 different species of squirrel. We have the gray squirrel, we have the black squirrel, and then one I've never seen alive, we have what's called a Sherman squirrel, which are these gigantic squirrels. Whoops, helps if I film them, but I do love the little black squirrels. They are so cute. So it's a little noisy because they're power washing the boardwalk behind me, but I actually joined up with a different trail. I am now on the Bass Road trailhead, and I'm just figured I'd walk till 11:30, walk for 30 minutes, turn around and head back. Basically how I do it when I have a time crunch. But it's really cool out here. You will hear a lot of planes because we're about a mile from the executive airport, so you hear a lot of like the smaller Cessna type planes landing and taking off. This lizard is so majestic, just sitting there acting like I can't see who he is. There's so many little lizards out here. I love it. Oh look, there's another little guy running around. So I actually walked all the way over to the Bass Road trailhead, and actually Give Kids the World is right down there on Bass Road. And then I took 30 minutes. So now I gotta turn around and go back. So another thing to note if you're gonna be hiking out in the woods, one, I would not suggest going by yourself. I'm bad, I do it. I also do have a lot of first aid and wilderness training from CAP, so it's a little different for me because I know a lot of stuff to keep myself safe. And I also only do really small local things. If you are going to do, and this is for anywhere in the country, not just here in Florida, If you are going to be going hiking anywhere, especially if you are going by yourself, make sure somebody knows where you're going. Just a lizard. Make sure they know what time you're getting there, what trail you're walking, and what time you are expected to be back. Because if you go somewhere outside of self-service and something happens and you can't call for help, this way your family or loved ones know where to send the search team to start. This is cool. This is a tree covered in air plants. I love that these are like so popular. Oh, you can even see some red ones up there. So abundant here in Florida. I guess I don't do enough hiking to notice. It's just, it makes the trees so pretty. And I made it back to my car. It is 11:36. Wow, that was a really fast walk back. It literally, I guess because I walked a lot faster back, it only took about 10 minutes to get back. So it was a really short trip. This is a perfect little expedition into Florida nature. It doesn't take a lot of time. So I'm home now. It's actually been a few days. I totally filmed an outro, like an actual outro while I was out there, but just now when I was editing, I realized I filmed it in time lapse. So it sounds like I'm possessed by a demon. So we're not going to use that one. So we're going to use this one instead. I can say honestly, I saw 0 snakes. Really, I only saw those couple woodpeckers and some lizards. So it was kind of disappointing for the animal, like creature side of nature. But it is a really small, easy, and very pretty walk. Especially once you get onto the boardwalk. That's really awesome. So I would definitely say that is a must do. And it's a quick and easy thing. So if you just have a little bit of time to kill, maybe one afternoon, you need to get the kids burn off some energy, that's a great little path. But if you guys like these videos, please click that subscribe button, tap the like, and ring that notification bell so you always know when a new video is headed your way. Thank you so much for watching, and now we're on to the next adventure. Bye, guys.
Today's video brought to you by Orlando for Families. For amazing prices and even better customer service on all of your stroller rental needs for your Orlando vacation, visit them at the website listed below, www.orlandoforfamilies.com. Use the promo code OHANA to save 15% off of their already competitive prices.